Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts, Virtek and Chibi Bree, are back from their latest adventures.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Golden Feather, Scientology for all. This week, Intrepid released some information about Scientology nodes, so we're going to delve into that a little bit, but first, let's not forget our guest this week, Fooshyy.
Hi guys, it's Fooshyy.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing alright. Yourself?
Pretty well, thank you. And of course, I have my co-host Virtek as well.
Hello, everyone.
So, it's a furry episode. Oh gosh.
Indeed.
Fooshyy, tell us just a little bit about what you do in the community.
Sure, I mainly just meme around in Discord, but since the forums was released, I'm able to post GIFs every now and then. You may know me from other games, you may know me from YouTube, but I mainly just lurk around in the Discord, but I hope you guys have a good time today.
It's a pretty good sum. What about the new forums that just opened up yesterday?
What about it? It's pretty cool. It's pretty legit.
It's very different from what we originally had, that's for sure.
I mean, the forums, it just adds a very concrete and constructive place for people to discuss Ashes of Creation instead of just, everything getting written down and,
scrolling by.
Yeah, kind of like how Discord is.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been my mindset about forums anywhere and everywhere, is that forums are kind of just forums. I haven't ever seen, like, a set of forums that I was like, wow, this is amazing. As much as, like, it depends on the activity of the community and how much effort they put into posting content.
Dude, it really is, man. It goes back to the community, and if Intrepid gives us stuff and then the community's popping off, everyone's gonna be popping off, and they're just gonna feed off of each other and be a happy time.
It'll be bananas. And I like bananas.
Alright, so we have a lot to talk about today. There's the sorry, I got distracted by the outline for whatever reason, but there's Scientology nodes that just got released, and I don't know. That kind of looks like... Oh, yes. We would like to start a new series with our podcast where before each stream officially starts, we want to know, and you can tell us at any time, but just let us know that this is specifically answering this question. What question would you ask the devs if you could get one question to ask them?
Just one. Think hard. Be honest. If you come up with another one later, that's fine. Just go ahead and get it up in the chat log, so you can scroll back and you can decide which one you would have asked.
Yeah.
If you could narrow it down. But we'll give you more info on why we need that later on in the stream here. But we definitely need some input from you guys. Trying to get some good ones out there. Some good ones. Ones that haven't been asked, or at least haven't been asked to a specific detail or a specific bit of info that you needed out of an answer given before.
Yeah, often they have the Q&A after their live streams or during their live streams, but I feel like some of them could be better questions, so...
Yeah, and a bunch of them have been asked before, but you gotta give the newbies a chance. They may have just come in and haven't stumbled across that one specific live stream or what have you, so I understand the repeat sometimes. But we want to get new questions out there that have not been answered, and maybe even some fine-tuned questions.
So think out of the box, let us know which questions you're curious about, and you can either type it here in chat or join our Discord. If you're on Twitch, you can just type in !Discord, and our
Discord.
Yeah.
Do it for cookies, my guy. Yeah.
Also, if you like this this Fox person over here, I guess he's okay, but if you like him, he's in there.
He's an alright guy, I suppose.
He's a pretty alright person.
I just lurk. I'm there for the Discord emotes.
So, all right. Well, I guess let's start off with you, Fooshyy. Who are you? Where are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Well, I don't really have a daddy, but I guess, if I did, that would probably be my guild leader, Free. Don't tell him I said that because then he'll probably G-kick me. Well, anyways, no, who am I? Honestly, I just think I'm another person, and I kind of, make memey YouTube videos whenever. Honestly, where am I? I am at the computer. I don't want to like go and read off, or go point by point. But I mean, Ashes of Creation is a project that, I've been interested in since 2017, back in April, May, back when they were first doing the Kickstarter. So I've just kind of like been poking around with it, and, just coming back and forth between active and inactive. And you guys asked me like, yo, Fooshyy, my guy, want to come into the stream? And I'm like, yeah.
My God.
And we're glad to have you. I mean, you were on our previous podcast group, I guess.
Oh yeah, the previous one. Mm-hmm. I think that one was a pretty good freaking podcast.
I enjoyed it. So. Yeah, we've come a long way since then. We've learned a lot about podcasting and quality assurance for that. Yep. Sometimes though, Skype is not very fun because of last podcast. I don't know if you were able to catch that or not, but I guess when Agellis was chatting with us, there was like a lot of crackle that was coming through. So I felt really embarrassed by that, and I felt bad because like there's nothing we could do. It was on Skype side. So we yay, fixed bot. Oh geez, now all the spam's coming.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, so basically we've been thinking about how do we get separate audio files to make editing and stuff easier and stuff like that, but we actually found the product we're using currently, which is Zoom, and given it a test. So
yeah, see how it goes. Always looking to increase quality and stability of the calls, because once we get the last week's live stream uploaded to YouTube, if you guys didn't watch it last week, you'll see there's some Skype call quality issues. Yeah,
and we spent a good part of the week trying to figure out how to get rid of that.
And there was just no really helping it.
Yeah.
I was able to clean it up a little bit, but really not much at all. Because when you have bad call, it's just really bad call. Unless it's a telephone bad call, and you can filter out actual noise in the background. Yeah.
So with the new forums, I was a little worried because I didn't know how the whole thing was going to happen. I was worried that like there wasn't going to be that integration with our accounts, but it seemed to be pretty seamless.
What about the rumor, right, that they shot down a long time ago about the Discord integration with the account?
Oh man. That would be interesting, honestly, because then you could be like, come check out my Discord channel for like content creators like yourself, where you like post your videos and stuff as well, and like live chat with people. That's pretty cool, pretty chill.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it'd be neat. I could see some pros and cons on that.
Yeah,
the fun part would be some of the people who just do crazy trolling on Discord. If they had to link it to their forum account, that would cause some issues.
Yeah, because I was like, what if somebody tried to, like, if they didn't have that account integration situation, and somebody wanted to be like, I'm suddenly Fooshyy.
Yeah, changing the nickname.
Yeah, like, just pretend to be Fooshyy, get all the fame and glory of Fooshyy.
You may have bumped into a troll that did that with somebody else before.
I actually don't really have any fame and fortune, but I mean, if somebody wants to name themselves Fooshyy and act like me, that's cool. I'll just go play Kirito.
Just because you hide it in your little fox den doesn't mean it doesn't exist, okay? We know it's there. But yeah, I don't know. I like the fact that they're back. I know there were some people, not like ragey upset, so don't get me wrong, they're not like freaking out about it, but they were sad that they lost some badges from the old forums, which, I mean, you can't carry over everything, and I guess maybe it gives a fresh start to everyone else, but all those like thousands of likes that people had gotten before on the old forums are gone. They're gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the bright side though, if you're a new content creator, if you enjoy memes and funnery, there's all sorts of new threads to be a part of, and we're all pouring ourselves back in. But yeah, no, definitely, especially with our podcast, because our podcast is so community driven. We thrive on things like the forums and Discord. Oh no, Survivor of the Old Forums is gone.
Oh my god, I know, Makinoji, Survivor of the Old Forums, that was a coveted badge. That one I definitely want to reach out and ask him if that was a mint change or if that was an oops.
Or like, if maybe is it coming?
Honestly, I was hoping they wouldn't have the badges. I mean, Survivor of the Old Forums is cool, but I was hoping that with the new forums, they just do away with the XP, do away with the little achievement things. You know, I mean, or if they wanted to do a reward system kind of like that, but I feel like it more inclines people to make forum posts like we see now, where it's like, let's play a game. Here, everyone type 3 words and we'll make a story.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just spam comments just to get a post and likes and achievements on the forums.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's a good idea, or a good point on that.
Cheating the system a little.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was no saint back in the day.
Slight cringe. I mean, I feel like at some point we all look at our older selves and just go cringe.
Yeah.
Cringe so hard.
Nah, never.
Never? Jeez, maybe it's just me.
Never. Be proud, don't look back. Just let the explosion happen, just keep going.
So, scientific nodes, what do you guys think?
I put out a tweet and I stand beside it saying that I have a feeling by the way this one was put together that every time they put out a new specific node information post, I'm probably going to want to be a part of that node. Because before I was like, scientific node, you can do instant travel across the node's influence areas, right? That'd be pretty cool. That makes me want to be in a scientific node. And then I read all this other stuff and I'm like, scientific is the only way to go. That's the only way to go.
And then the warrior node comes out, or the other nodes come out, and they're like,
Yeah, maybe this is the real way to go. This is the real way to go after all.
I really like that they brought like a uniqueness to this node. Like, for example, it starts off as like a scientific node, but like as it levels, it's like there's a library, and then there's like a college, and then university, and then an academy. And I'm like, how many of those RPers would just love the like library setting or the academy setting, you know?
I'm just saying that first image looks pretty awesome, but I also see that little elven lady standing there with all the lights on her, the big statue. That book is going to be a standing place. Like 24/7, somebody's going to be standing on that book.
Yes. There's so many screenshots are going to be taken up on that book.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and put it in for everybody else to see in the background, so that way you guys have something to look at.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying how much effort they're putting into the decoration of these places, still keeping it like quote-unquote realistic looking fantasy. Like, this is a building I could see somebody actually putting together purposefully to look like this.
Right.
When it doesn't look realistic like by today's standards or what have you, but I could see this being a real building that somebody designed instead of some places that are like wonky and odd and you look at it and go, why would somebody do that?
Right. There we go.
But yeah, all of the little bonuses they put in here are just intense. Like the amount of individuality each node type is going to have. I knew it was going to be a lot just from everything they've said so far and stressing the fact that they're going to be remarkably different. But the fact that you can get common armor and weapon recipes all the way up to max level just because you're in a scientific node. And
yeah, but I mean, getting up to that point though, I mean, getting up into a metropolis stage is like, apparently it's supposed to take months, you know? So
right. Yeah. And it's gonna be months of great hard work, but Makinoji actually made a good comment. Jolin made a good point about this being a great asset for raiders, since bosses can possibly be looked up at the uni.
Yep, that crossed my mind as well, because you can constantly just every day, as soon as you log in, go to the university, scout the records, see if anything new is reported, like a new area was opened up, or a new dungeon, or a new raid, or just a new random roaming boss was reported.
Right. I mean, how awesome would it be to be like, so-and-so encountered, like so-and-so's group encountered this boss, but like failed, but you learned new things about the boss in the process.
Yeah, and see, that's the one thing I'm curious about, is if the university just reports it when it happens, or does somebody who resides in that area need to encounter this and then it's recorded in the logs? That I'm curious about.
Yeah.
Because if it just reports like something happened, something opened up because insert whatever reason, and now there's a boss over here, you could literally find out instead of going out and exploring the world. By being in a scientific node, you could log in, check the university, and 10 minutes ago it reported a new like hobgoblin hanging out in the woods.
Right?
And you can go kick him in the teeth real quick and yay, you got new loot that didn't exist before.
That'd be interesting for sure. Or like maybe, because I mean, obviously there's like the whole study of animals and creatures, like maybe if after enough time goes through, because I forgot, what was the time frame for the season change? It was like 2 weeks, I think.
I think they said like like 1 week was a season or something. I forget. It was something fairly low.
But wouldn't it be cool is if like over time with the season change, if there was like a documentation of like, we noticed every time it was this season, this creature came over here and they tended to stay around these areas or these types of areas.
Yeah, that'd be neat if the university actually logged that as well. Like, you know, season whatever appeared, so did this monster. It seems that, and it started to catalog what seasons things are appearing, or if people will have to do that.
So, Stream, if you were a part of a scientific node, what one thing would you want the university to log? But go ahead, Fooshyy.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure they're already doing that. Like whenever it's you know, obviously when the season changed, like and out of a random event that a rare mob would become farmable. And then after like the end of the week, you know, it obviously would flip to like fall or, you know, spring, and then another mob, or, you know, that mob would move, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Because like, that would be useful information. I mean, I'm excited for the rare mobs just because like, you know, interesting new things that wasn't there before.
Yeah, that's gonna be absolute hacks, though. I mean, like a uni having what level is that? What level is the rare mob knowledge?
Let me see here.
Yeah, I didn't look that up.
It was 5.
But I know it becomes university at level 6, or academy. It becomes university at level 5, academy at level 6. Sorry, my bad.
It's level 4. I do believe that you get unique and rare drop information for surrounding areas. I feel like that's just gonna snowball the scientific node into higher stages depending on the materials needed. I mean, if they're able to just go and farm rare mobs, you know, because that node knows where the rare mobs are, that's gonna, you know, maybe we don't know yet.
Yeah, it looks like node level 3 is when it starts logging locations of last known quantity of gatherable resources, which is going to be incredibly valuable.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the locations and inhabitants of new dungeons or points of interest that have spawned. So at that point, it's right away. I mean, that's gonna have a big increase in how quickly, like you said, they can level that up. If it's something really nearby within a vassal node, you know, hey, this new thing appeared. Cool, let's go kill it. Yay, we got more experience. Next.
Oh man, I'm really gonna hate this whole thing until the MMO actually comes out, because I can't help myself. I just get way too excited, and then I'm like, I want to play it right now.
Yeah. Right
now, I want to play.
Right.
But
also,
you know,
I really like
not available yet. So.
Sorry. Yeah, I really like the legendary item destruction and repair parts. Like I don't know, I'm getting excited about all these little bonuses. You can go through, and if you get a legendary item and you just don't want it for any reason, or you've gotten a second one and let's say they're bind on pickup, or you've bound it by equipping or doing something to it. I know Steven said he wants to avoid a lot of the binding stuff, but let's just say that legendary stuff is bound and you have 2 of them, you can check and say, hey, what would I get if I destroy this? Because I don't use it.
Yeah.
I just keep it for the shiny effect.
Huh.
And then you can use components for legendary item repair, which suggests to me that you can only repair legendary items with specific components, and maybe because the previous stage allowed you to decompose or deconstruct legendary items, maybe you need to deconstruct legendary items to repair others.
Also, Makinoji makes a good point. He says, I'm curious if it will log husbandry. So, like, which two things make what animal or mount or pet or thing.
Yeah, that'd be a good one, actually.
And before it keeps track of somebody that just pops out a tier 5 mount, and then it's like, you can see what they used, and it's like, oh, well, the mystery's over. GG profits.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think maybe in that realm they would probably, if they did track husbandry, they would probably keep that secret, but maybe they would log like so-and-so created a new creature. And then everybody would know who actually pays attention to the newspaper at the university.
The newspaper at the university.
Whoever reads those logs would end up knowing that somebody created a new thing, and maybe they can try to reverse engineer, or just they'll know where to buy it because they want all the mounts.
Right.
It's going to be some like third-party competition going on. Somebody's going to be chilling in the university like, Makinoji just got the best horse in the game. Everyone flips their table. What do you mean?
Somebody else learn how to make it quick. What's it look like? It looks like a fox, dog, bird. I don't know.
P mount in the game.
That sounds interesting. I also really like that they stated in this thread that superpowers, each node type has a superpower granted to the node. These abilities become unlocked when the node reaches level 6 or the Metropolis stage. They're intended to change the dynamics of the game significantly. And as Virtek already mentioned, the superpower of the scientific node is a teleportation. So I think that'll be interesting.
I mean, I already see. I mean, that's going to get you around to any of the points, any of the nodes in the zone of influence, and that's nothing to be trifled with. I mean, that 1/5 of the world. Look at it that way.
Yeah.
Or 1/4 of the world. Was it 1/4 or 1/5? 1/5. No, there's 5 castles, but were there 5 metropolises?
I don't know.
I don't know. One large percentage of the world.
But if you think about it, if you are like, okay, before we hit level 6 node wise, I had to run all the way over to like this northwest area, but now I could just teleport over there and make farming a little bit faster.
And then also, I'm not sure if you noticed, but if there are more than one scientific node, you can take airships between them.
Ooh.
So if there are 2 scientific nodes on the opposite sides of the world, just perchance, that you have quick travel to half the world. And a giant span of it.
That's so crazy. I wonder what an airship would look like.
I don't know, but I'm hoping you can't attack it from the ground or from a dragon flying mount. How crazy would that be? You're just chilling in your airship. There's no like fast travel outside of teleportation, so you're taking the time to actually fly over the world. And some governor of some like militant node just goes, I got a dragon. Let's go mess with it. They just set your airship on fire.
I mean, another question's raised, right? Okay, so I mean, if you're able to go in quick travel from one node to another node, is it gonna be a physical, what is it, like a physical ship in the world, or is it gonna be based off, whenever you go up to the guy and he's like, where do you want to go? And then you click a button and it just kind of poof appears. If it's like that and you're just on a set route, then honestly, I don't.
Oh, kind of like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, like that. But if it was a physical ship, which I feel like it would be a physical ship, in Arcade, since Steven played that, I could definitely see bigger guilds just controlling those airships in a sense that, they don't want people to go and use them or be traveling to their area, but they would just wait at the docks for you to, come in or just maybe even sit on the ship.
Yeah, the interesting part about that, though, is going to be if it's within your town and somebody comes in from rival whatever, even if they're a citizen of that town, I'm curious if they make the towns like anti-PvP zones, like most games do make them, to where if you initiate conflict in town, guards come and just take your head off.
Yeah, the town thing isn't gonna really work all that well, especially with karma.
Yeah. Another interesting thing to do with the scientific node, which I like because I'm interested in crafting, gathering, etc., is that in this specific type of node, you'll find quest lines and rewards for like the crafters, gatherers, and reaching higher ends of the artisan knowledge. So that actually ties into what Makinoji just said in our chat on Twitch, for those of you that are joining us on Twitch. Also, what if certain knowledge is locked until you reach a certain milestone for your class or craft? So, say you pick up a recipe in the library, but it's all blacked out, and all you see is the name, for example.
Well,
that'd be interesting.
In my best estimate and guess, I would say that with the common recipes that you can just obtain there, they would probably not be really locked behind knowledge so much as you can't do it. You just don't have enough skill to actually complete the craft. You'd have the recipe, you could unlock the recipe, and now it's chilling in your book, but it's marked red because you can't actually do it. Or maybe it lets you try and do it, and you fail because you don't meet requirements. But,
maybe, wouldn't it be cool if, okay, so this is just like a side, I'm sorry, I'm like completely taking over here, but wouldn't it be cool as if like you were able to try that, and by trying that you found a new recipe in the process? That might have something to do with the full recipe, but you don't know what the aspects of this recipe are. You're just gonna try to figure it out. And so say if I'm an alchemist and I'm trying to do this high potion, like this really end tier rating potion that's a lot more difficult than say a medium like higher potion, maybe I fail at it, but I learn a portion of the new recipe that is about my level.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I could see that being neat. Now what would be kind of neat with the recipes though is if, let's say they were for every tier of profession mastery, there were different steps and different techniques you could unlock in your little skill tree. And if it required a certain step or skill or technique, you couldn't move past that in the recipe, so the rest would look just foreign. And you wouldn't have a clue, like, what does transmogrify even mean? I can't do that. And you wouldn't have a clue how to read the rest of the recipe because that just completely lost you. And so, like Maki was saying there, then the only thing you could really read is the name and maybe a couple steps to it or a couple ingredients, but not really everything else.
Yeah, he also asked if this building is city controlled, then could the mayor and his goons put a higher taxation on this and possibly shut it down?
That is quite possible as well. I mean, they didn't really say too much about it as far as the specifics behind how it runs, so that could be a thing. If the place did get taken over by goons, then that could be an interesting setup. I'm also curious.
In a lawless zone.
Yeah. I'm actually
no
curious.
man's land.
I'm actually curious how the leader of a scientific node comes to be. How they were saying, like in the economic nodes, it's based on economic feats and money and all that. That's kind of how you earn your way there. And then in the military nodes, it's based on combat and etc., etc. Then with a scientific node, maybe one of the key requirements is to be master craftsman, or a master artisan, or a master gatherer, or something like that, or maybe master two of them, or something like that.
Maybe.
But as you said, Fooshyy, with unlocking further, how is it phrased here? Basically, unlocking more skill in your trade. Maybe being in a scientific node will quite literally let you train farther and master things better, so you get a higher success rate with better procs, or better quality, or more durability on every item.
Ah, man, it's just there's so much theory crafting with it. It could do one thing, but then it's like, oh, well, we're gonna go and get the more of the gladiator node. What's that gonna offer? What's its ultimate gonna be? It's like, okay, teleportation's cool, but what happens if the arena node can go and just poop out siege artillery catapults like it's nothing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and then just sure, you know, the science node, it's gonna go and snowball. It's gonna allow people to craft, you know, be all super edgy with their high tier stuff. But then it's like when, you know, these other nodes get up there, you know, what kind of game is it gonna play? You know, who's gonna be the meta? What's it gonna come down to?
I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of intelligent individuals that they're not going to try to siege another town unless there's a real problem. Because if you think about it, the best way to really play the quote-unquote like the meta game is going to be to have your guild in whatever type of node your guild wants to focus in, but your people could also be citizens in other nodes as a guild that are going to best augment whatever they can contribute to the guild. So it would end up being a citywide thing where this city right here, the denizens of this city are causing us an issue, a big issue. We need to get rid of this city. And then a bunch of people from a bunch of the guilds that have a lot of members in the angry city say, wait. My crafting alt is in that scientific node. I get a lot of benefits out of that. That's the only scientific node. If we drop that, our items are going to be just garbage. They're not going to be anywhere near as good. And I also have one in that economic node. That's my trading person. That's how I donate all this money to the guild.
Ooh,
Interesting.
Politics are too hard.
Virtek just opened up a whole new can of worms.
yeah, it's gonna make life very interesting. I'm pretty sure.
Well, okay, here's a big question, because it says, look, at level 3, it has locations and inhabitants of new dungeons or POIs or points of interest that have spawned. I wonder if you have a level 3 scientific node or maybe higher, will it have hints as to where the secret sandals are?
Oh, hey. Well, a mysterious item has appeared in the forest.
Yeah.
So this is how they get Phoenix Aura.
But yeah.
Probably why we haven't seen concept art yet. Feels bad.
Feels bad. But yeah, I'm also curious about this, like legendary crafting benches. So we're actually gonna be able to craft legendaries, not just find them and repair them.
That's crazy.
Actually craft them.
Hold up, wait a minute. Where? 6?
Yeah, the number 6. It's the very
relic.
Almost the very bottom. Relic and legendary crafting benches.
Interesting.
Right. But then right below that, like legendary freehold schematic certificates too.
Other nodes. What do you have to offer? Like,
Oh gosh, I think they just literally made it really hard for us. Like,
you broke Fooshyy.
this is gonna be a hard node to top, honestly. Like if they're starting off with this one, I want to know what the other ones have. Like,
exactly why I'm saying, like, every time a new one comes out, I'm gonna say that's the one I want, because
I don't know. I'm like,
Legendaries are supposed to be like numero uno, you know?
We want them, Ashes of Creation. We want your more.
Yeah, Ashes of Creation says we've got more. Oy.
Yeah, please send more nodes.
Please send nodes.
Please more nodes.
Please more nodes. We're hooked. You got us.
Yeah, it's bananas. Like, they make this look so impressive that if they make them all balanced and they all have their own benefits that are equal but different, it's gonna be such a hard decision by the time they all come out to really look at everything and go, oh no, guys.
And at that point, you have to kind of realize, like, okay, which node loading intensifies? You have to think about it, like, okay, which nodes can I sacrifice for being at a lower level to be able to still get the most out of all the nodes? Like, at what level, like, what's the lowest level I'm willing to have the specific node be in order to make sure that other node is able to be progressed as high as needed or wanted for that beneficial, like, purpose, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, your main node you obviously want to push up, but I think it's going to be a fun game. Speaking of leveling it up, only which ones you want. If you end up say, gathering in a certain area with like your guild, trying to build up a certain node and doing all your activities in one area.
Yeah.
And it hits level 1 and you're like, this is a religion node. We don't want that. We want the scientific. Okay, well, let's go. I don't know. How far away should we go? There's not like a borderline on the ground. Let's go, I guess, a mile that way. Let's see if we can spawn a different node here.
Not to mention, right, Virtek, if the nodes are all balanced and they're kind of all playing out, and we got a fair balance of people that want to go to every single node, it's going to be a fun first month of Ashes of Creation. Just everybody's trying to level up their nodes. You can't level them up because somebody hit level 30 and it's like,
there's going to be so many level 1 nodes spread across everywhere, and just one that just it bumps up to level 3, and people are going to freak because they wanted the one right next to it to level up instead.
Rip guild leaders.
Yeah. Guild leaders are going to have so much on their hands when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Like, I love the political depth on this, but it's going to cause some guild issues.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, there's not to mention there's tons of tactical ideas to surround yourself with the different node levels. But Makinoji mentioned that pretty sure all of this will take a while to obtain. We still don't know the levels of materials or XP needed for each of the things. That's true, but at the same time, if you think about it, I mean, any top tier crafting in any game takes a long time. I mean, Final Fantasy, oh my gosh. I'm like level 40 on that still, and I'm trying to level so hard, but it takes a lot of time. And I appreciate that it does. It's just not so much for fast levels, but I feel like, especially towards like the legendary things, I feel like those would be, make it even more worth the price. Like, you could easily drive up the price just because, like, dude, I had to go through a week of killing mobs just to get one of these, and the recipe calls for 10.
Yeah.
So, like, that has justification for price hikes and stuff like that. Also, Mariner, I like what you said. There will definitely be metagaming on which nodes to progress to what level. I agree completely. Catch Steven out there in some random
level
level
that I'm curious about is how they're going to choose which node to live in and why. Because there could very well be a meta of, you know what we got to do, guys? We need to have, believe it or not, we need to have everybody residing on your mains in the religious node because of a certain benefit that you can get to class training or what have you. But then we need to also have some people in our PvP area to have an alt over in the military node, so that when we're trying to do this or that or the other thing in the world, we need you guys to have your military node benefits to help come ship over there and kick people in the teeth when they bother us. And then also we need our economic people who are getting money into the guild to go and have an alt and economic, like that may be their true meta when it comes to the nodes. Is how you shift people around and which node you make the guild primary for your mains.
Right. Okay, here's an interesting question asked by Woodchip, directed at Ashes of Creation, and I'm interested in this as well. They said, hey, Ashes of Creation, one question on DCN's podcast yesterday that wasn't asked when speaking about regions. Are the 5 regions locked and static in the world?
I know they're predetermined, but I'm pretty sure they're predetermined.
Well, see, the thing I remember at some point, Steven said in one of the live streams, because somebody had asked before, like, what if 2 nodes progress to Metropolis stage right next to each other? Do they just lose out on Zone of Influence because they can't go in one direction? And they said that the Zone of Influence would then spread out to the other directions to make up for it, but it would still encompass the same amount of area.
Yeah.
But talking about the ZOI,
yeah, the Zone of Influence.
The bigger nodes with the Zone of Influence, if it got to the point where it would be so big that it would absorb the smaller node, or I suppose settlement. You could call it a node. I mean, that's what I know. But to the point where it's like, okay, there's 2 level 3 nodes, and they can't really do anything because they're like fighting each other for Zone of Influence.
Yeah,
like they might have to go to war.
Right.
Well, yeah, Woodchip, I totally get what you're saying. The direction I was going with that was more of that doesn't even though it's an older reference thing, doesn't exactly reference it because the nodes could still be static,
Right.
and not move. But then like the two metropolises end up making a home right on the edge, right on the border, and then their region, their zone of influence. I'm guessing that's what you're referring to as regions, like what region they have control over and influence upon. That would still spread out to the same area, even if it were locked and static. It would just be in a different direction instead of a perfect circular shape or almost circular around it.
Aren't regions connected to castles, and castles are static?
Yeah, the castles, I'm pretty sure I remember them saying that those were going to be static in the world. Those will change hands, but not locations.
Right.
The zone of influence I know specifically refers to the metropolises and such. Metropoli.
Ooh, Makinoji. I will say that if a server manages to get to the last level of Metro and Superpower, then best believe it will have to be heavily defended, or that will be so heartbreaking.
Oh, yeah. And the entire server goes and groups up and bullies the one dude that went into stage 6 Metropolis. It's like, wow, we spent a month on this, and then it's like, boop, back to stage 5. It's like,
I mean, it's going to be a point of pride, like, hey, we were the first to get to Metropolis, and then 2 days later, oh yeah, we're being sieged. Damn it. By who? By everybody. Everybody who's not us is sieging us. Which, actually, Z...
down to 0, not stage 5.
Yeah, down to 0.
They got a full wipe? It's gonna full wipe?
Yep.
No!
Yep. And that's the bummer.
That's gonna be bloody!
That's the sound of Fushy's heart breaking.
That's the sound of actual hearts and souls breaking right there.
Not so much me, because I'm just gonna be on the coast somewhere fishing, right? But like,
right.
There's the dudes that are gonna put their heart and soul into a node, and they're not a part of no like 200-man Zerg. We don't know what kind of benefits smaller guilds are gonna have, but it's like, they get to that point, and then all of a sudden someone don't like them, and then they go and make an alliance up, and then their node is sieged and back down to stage 0. It's like,
yeah. Oh, man.
And actually, that even connects up to what Makinoji said earlier in the conversation, where he was saying, expect a lot of ghost towns along the way.
Yeah.
I forget who it was that said it, but we were talking with somebody, and the idea came up of, I wonder if there's going to be ghost towns where a node goes up to a certain level and then it de-levels because nobody pays attention to it anymore. Are ruins going to stay hanging out there, showing like dilapidated tents and housing and whatnot, until somebody comes and starts cleaning it up by trying to level it up again?
Mm-hmm.
Because that'd be pretty cool too, to see like a bunch of nodes that got up to level 2 or 3 and then nobody paid attention to them anymore because they went off to more interesting places, and then just you see a broken down, dilapidated village basically with a couple of houses that just have no doors on them and all run down.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I'm excited. This world is so like alive, I think it would take multiple guilds to make a metropolis. I don't think a single, even a large guild, will be able to manage the activity to make a metropolis.
Oh, no. Definitely not. Now, where I could see a large guild being very influential is in the beginning of it, when in the beginning node stages, where it doesn't take as much experience and whatnot to build it up. If they were to concentrate and focus on one little area that they really want to node.
Right, because they have like the numbers then behind that to get it. Yeah. Don't underestimate hardcores. That's my boy right there.
I know people that, they do the whole work from home and make a lot of money doing it with consulting and whatnot, so they do spend 40 to 50, 60 hours a week on a game. But yeah, they could definitely have an influence on starting a node. Like they like what node it pops up to be right off the bat, and they just push hard in that area. And they're gonna make sure that one gets to node stage 2, and then somebody else is gonna be walking by and saying, "Oh yeah, this looks pretty cool. I'll stay here." And then suddenly that becomes a node because the giant guild wanted it to be a node.
Right, but I plan. Yeah, I plan to go hardcore though too. Seriously, like that's why Virtek and I seeked out the whole,
I've never taken the whole week off of work at a launch of a game or expansion I might be taking 2 weeks with this one. Just
Really? Virtek, really? You've never taken like a week off work for a video game launch?
I've taken a day or two, but it's usually because, they're launching on a Thursday. I'll just have a long weekend.
Yeah.
Cool, whatever. But I've taken a day or two. I've never done the whole, like, launch week. Woo! But I've never done that. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Okay.
I'm gonna do 2 weeks. I'm gonna do 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah,
Start picking up my free time.
But Makinoji says, we'll probably see vassals controlled by guilds, and that in itself is power, and the vassal could literally be like, no, I don't want to defend you, your metro, we want to be petty and level up after you fall.
Yeah, that's totally a thing with how they have it set up. I mean, a vassal could be a stage 5. That metropolis right next door is a stage 6, and they're like, whatever.
Like, but okay, here's the question though. If they're not gonna defend it, I guess. Oh, did I cut out?
So for me, maybe not to stream.
Oh, but if they're not gonna defend it, then I want to know, like, who does it go to if there's a siege? Doesn't it go to, like, well, I mean, okay, yeah, so who does that go to, actually? Because if you have a big group of people that are sieging against this one metropolis, what? I'd never thought about this exactly, like, who gets to claim victory over it?
Well, it's not really... I'm not sure if it would end up being any one person so much as, like, when you participate. I mean, they haven't really announced that necessarily, so much as saying that there are spoils of war that go to the victors, but I'm pretty sure it would end up kind of divvying it out to everybody who participated. There's not really much of a other fair way to do it, because like in our first example, the first node to hit level 6, all the other nodes could just gang up on it, and the only way to calculate anything would be to see how many citizens of a certain node were participating, and the most citizen participation wins. But then there could be 7 people that are super powerful because of all the stuff they've gathered, and they bring the biggest siege weapons, and fewer people but more damage done to the building. Or were there more individual people kills? Or
Right.
It'd be really complicated beyond that.
Yeah, well, I understand that it goes to 0, guys. I was just saying, like, after it goes to 0 and you, like, end up building it back up, I just want to see who ends up getting, like, justice over it, I guess.
Oh yeah. Now here's an even more fun question. And this one's gonna have a I don't even know answer from everybody, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, Makinoji, I agree.
Let's say you have, because we don't even know exactly how everything's set up, so let's say that one metropolis is surrounded by 3 other nodes, and that's it. They completely wrap around it, just to say a number to work with here. Let's say there's 3 nodes around it, and all of those are up at level 5, because they've been working on this metropolis for a long time, right? And that level 6 node, that level 6 metropolis ends up getting knocked out down to 0. So all the freeholds get taken down to 0, as Steven said, right? All the freeholds are gone, poof, done. And now you have 3 nodes at level 5 trying to vie for whichever one gets boosted up to level 6.
Ooh.
Now, the thing about that is, weren't we able to set a freehold starting from level like 3 or so? From a node level 3, we could start dropping freeholds or something? Wasn't that a thing?
I forget exactly.
But either way, even if it's level 5, because I know it's before it hits Metropolis, we can drop our freehold down. But even if it's level 5, then there are now 3 nodes at level 5 that you could, in theory, just drop your freehold right back down on the ground. But then you'd have to swear your fealty to one of those 3, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mariner says, I think it gets forgotten that declaring a siege has similar requirements to actually creating the node.
Yeah. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. Like, how much time and effort and money and resources went into creating that node. Very relatable input must be given to be able to siege the node and potentially destroy it.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, but man, I just...
So much to unpack there.
Yes, there is.
So, that's kind of weird. There's a lot more that we haven't even touched yet.
And wood chip brings up another one. a castle that's in that same region as the zone of influence of the metropolis is probably going to want to defend that metropolis too, because that brings it a lot of money from people living there and doing everything there.
Yeah.
So they're going to automatically want to defend it. Oh man, the politics are going to be insane.
I'm excited.
Make another node type. Just make another node type called political. Your superpower is you can claim dual citizenry.
Right. That'd be cool, actually.
There you go. So you can actually be a citizen of one town and claim the benefits of another. Your benefits are claiming whatever benefits you want.
Right. That would be a little bit OP, but I mean, it has to reach that level 6 first.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would actually, in turn, incentivize people to try to take it down so that they could try to build it up and take ownership of it.
Oh, Makinoji. Oh, man. So yeah, wood chip, like, so, So. So let's say a siege comes up on a castle, right? And somebody plans a siege to happen right around the same time, because apparently the castle sieges are going to be scheduled like once a month or something, right?
Uh-huh.
So somebody from a competing metropolis takes over the castle in that local area to the one that they're trying to siege. That just takes out an entire castle worth of people who would want to defend that metropolis as well.
Ooh.
So they could do a double war and just completely take it out.
Oh man, that's some hefty stuff right there.
The depth that this stuff can go is just insanity. Yeah. But we digress. We're way off the topic on things, but man, that was a good conversation. Getting my brain working on this stuff.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely, I really enjoy this kind of chat. If you guys enjoy this too, let us know. We can do more of this, like, just brainstorming and, you know, the like.
Baron's chat. Baron's chat. That's going to be, you know, we could actually just carry that term right on over into Ashes. That's going to be the area where Metropolis gets destroyed, because it's going to turn to absolute salt, just like Baron's chat.
I'm not ready, man. Really, I'm not. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we don't know yet. You know, we don't know how much we're gonna lose whenever a node does, you know, get sieged and actually put back to 0. And the one thing that I'm concerned about with this is that losing your stuff is very demotivating. And what I was saying is in chat is that there's really, honestly, there's gotta be a middle line somewhere between, you know, your typical theme park MMORPG, and then it's like it's kind of playing some kind of throne game, right?
Right.
There's got to be an incentive for both sides to defend and to
Ashes Game of Thrones. Ashes Game of Thrones.
I mean, there's a lot of drama, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of drama, a lot of politics, and I'd say, yeah, it's a fun time, but it's like, I don't know. There's people like me that aren't big into losing their stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've played Arcade. I can take trade packs on a merchant ship and go and get wrecked, and I'm like, fudge muffins, right? But I can always go make more and go make more money, right? But it's gonna depend for Ashes, man. Like, if that stuff if it's massive to the player and it actually takes a lot of time and then it's just poof, it's gone because they got siege, it's like, I don't think I'm gonna play this game anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but I could also see, and I'm kind of hoping for this, like, I'm hoping when Steven says you lose some of your stuff when you get killed by another player, you lose some of your stuff when you die, you lose some of your stuff when Freehold, like, I'm hoping that it actually is some, and maybe it's like a third, you lose a third of your stuff.
Well,
and you know that risk exists, but that's why you should be balancing where you put stuff and what you do with it, and you shouldn't stockhold a ton of things that you're not trying to sell because it's worth money.
And
Yeah. I mean, the one third thing, I'm sorry, Chibi.
It's
I'll give
okay.
it back to you here in a second. We got to remember is like, we're not playing a survival game. It's an MMORPG. And then just to go and get get killed out in the wild, you know, and now it's like, all your stuff is gone and can be looted. It's like, it's not a survival game.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'll be honest though, like maybe, and see, this is where like politics and people's opinions and how they're treated outside of the game has a big impact. Because I don't think it would go over anywhere near as well these days. But Ultima Online, there used to be a cult following for that game, and that was amazing. And with that game, when you died, literally all your stuff landed on the ground. You were a ghost, you spawned in a graveyard, and you had to run back to your body and hope nobody else robbed your corpse. If they did, you started with whatever you still had in your bank. And that was it. You had to keep spare equipment in your bank ready to go in case you died. But it was a huge game when it was out, and everybody loved it. I mean, it's still surviving on private servers till this day, but maybe even live. I think it might be. I know a couple years ago it was.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is also, this is partially why I'm excited to be a part of being able to test for the phase 1 testing, because that will be something eventually, like maybe not directly in phase 1, but being that I can start from phase 1, I can see how everything else is building. But the fact that they're having all of this testing before they go live, like, we'll be able to test that kind of stuff and give our input and give our responses. Because, I mean, Steven said himself, he didn't want it to be so hard that you want to rage quit, you know, but he wants it to be hard enough that you feel the consequences of whatever situation.
Right.
So that's going to take a lot of fine-tuning and a lot of balancing to accomplish, I believe. There's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to have to test through and whatnot, because, I mean, honestly, losing all of that, going from 6 to 0, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But okay, what happens if you successfully defend the castle? Will the castle be damaged and you have to do repairs?
I would assume so.
And what would that do for you? You know, like, these are just questions I have.
In theory, though, if you successfully defend the castle, all the siege weaponry and everything that was brought to bear, you can absorb as materials.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna post this in here randomly. I forgot about the corruption system, so like, yeah, I'm totally good now. I'm good. You know, if people want to go and kill me out in the world, it's gonna be like that. The risk reward of, you know, do you want to get slapped with 3 hours of corruption, you know, because you killed that guy, or you know, and possibly make out with some fat loots, or it's like, you know, are you gonna go kill this guy, go take his stuff, it's not gonna have anything in his bag, and you got 3 hours of corruption. So it's like,
yeah,
it's give take, but I don't. My goal is to be on the corner of somewhere, and no one's gonna know where I'm at. But that's a lie, because quite frankly, I'm gonna play that meta game, so everyone's gonna know where I'm at.
Well, that, and I mean, I'm gonna have my strongest character hanging out in a military node as is in there, so I can be a bounty hunter. I mean, that's just probably gonna be a fact. I mean, as far as my current plans go, that's gonna be the case, just so that when I get bored, I can take my strongest PvP character, whoever I'm best with, and go out and just go hunting. I mean,
Pure
look for these
pirate.
little corrupted dots on the map. Well, yeah, well, not pirates so much as I want to go hunt the people who are corrupted. Like, you get some corruption, I'm going to look for your dots on the map and come after you.
So,
Get their stuff.
Yeah.
Get their stuff, exactly.
So here's, and to kind of wrap this up a little bit, it's a great conversation. If you guys want to continue this conversation, I am more than happy to in our Discord, and pretty soon on the forums as well. We are also hoping to create a website pretty soon here, so it would be nice to be able to post up a video and have some dialogue there as well, because I love your guys' thoughts and opinions, and I could do this all day, honestly, if I had the freedom to. But this week, I want to say the fan focus was from the Fan Art Friday by Z. Z's name comes up quite a lot, actually. I'm
So
happy
famous.
with this,
So
because
famous.
yeah, you're the little famous one amongst us here, Z. But I'm impressed. He built a cart. Is this what size? What size is this? It's for one amazing, but what is it made of? Because Virtek saw it and was like gingerbread.
Oh, that's what I see too, man. Can I eat that, please?
He's saying that's life size. He let me try on the shield. It's amazing.
Let me try on the shield. Oh goodness gracious! Let me go find my Discord because there's noises happening and I don't want them to happen. There we go.
That's adorable. I love it.
I do too. It's made from plaster of
Plaster of Paris.
Plaster of Paris. Interesting.
Oh, okay. So don't let the kitty get to that one.
But it looks really, really, really cool. And I really like it. If you guys want to help promote it, here's the Twitter link to it. I love these fan art Fridays. I'm glad they started doing this because I mean, there's so many things that like without the forums, it's a little hard.
So does that sign say cash and carry? Does it say cash cart, or does it say cash or cards?
It says card of war, but I don't know what the bottom part says. That's a good question.
That'd be great if there were some kind of credit cards.
Cash or card.
Okay.
Cash and carry, yeah. Oh, maybe you can trade stuff for it. I don't know. That'd be cool.
But yeah, I like it though.
But yeah, did you get the meme for this week?
Couldn't really find anything terribly interesting out there. I was actually disappointed by the forums. I went. There was even a category that said memes, and all it had was somebody asking for memes, somebody saying go to Reddit, and somebody else posting the Ashes of Creation logo. That's all I had. That was the meme post.
Oh man. All right. Well, if you know anybody who's interested in creative with their memeing, always feel free to send them over to us and have them post it. But I really I hope to see that but gingerbread version on our front door. But yeah, continue sending those. Wait for the next one. Ooh, I can't wait. Send us your fan art, send us your memes, send us your poems, whatever you want to send us, because we love doing a fan focus. We love being able to share what people in the community are making. So that being said,
I'm hoping it kicks up and we get a lot more stuff posted out there with the forums coming up.
Yeah. That being said, Makinoji actually released a new video this week as well.
Yeah.
With music stuffs.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me go find that real quick.
While she's looking for that, though, I've actually wanted to respond to Marinor from earlier. I said it takes a long time to gather materials and whatnot for a siege, but the Metropolis people could be gathering them for a long time, waiting for a siege. That way, when they want to, they can just instantly do it.
Oof.
So there is always that possibility as well.
Man. Let me see if I can copy this link. I was trying to open it in a new, I hope this is it. I was trying to open it up in a new tab, but it started playing instead, and I was like, no, it's not what I wanted. But yeah, I like it. It might actually be considered for a new background, because we've had this music for quite a while, which we love. But a little bit of change. Yeah. Looking for some bards if y'all want to give us some music. But yeah, aside from that, we stream every Friday, 5 p.m. PST. And make sure to submit those questions that you have for us for the dev. Because got a certain kind of interview coming up.
Yeah, so you might want to tune in next week, because I'll give you 3 guesses on who we got as a guest.
Death proxy.
You know that he's gonna be haunting your dreams forever. Like,
yeah,
if you look in a webcam and you say Death Proxy 3 times.
Oh, jeez.
But no, we got Steven himself, Mr. Sharif. He's gonna be on the show next week. So get ready. This is why we need your questions. So please, again, we're going to type in the Discord thing here. if you're watching this and you're not already a member, please do join up and send us a question or two that you personally want answered, because we're going to have ours, and again, we're more community focused, so we do actually want to ask your questions to get them out there.
Exactly. Not to mention, for those of you watching later on our YouTube, the Discord link will be right below in the description. So feel free to check it out there, as well as our other media. So
yes, Woodchip. We're going to have more than usual.
It's no longer sound problems. It's desk banging.
It's desk problems, yes.
It wouldn't be an intrepid stream without desk pinging.
So,
has to be.
Yeah, our individual streams are in flux, and we're moving soon, so that's something hectic that we're dealing with. So, but no worries, we'll always make time for you guys. You gotta let them hit the desk bang.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fooshyy, do you have anything coming up? Any places you want to send people to look at your content?
No, honestly. I'm not making too many videos right now, but I've never stopped. I have plans. I want to continue making videos, but I just really don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I did want to say, you know, thank you to the guys showing up, and also thank you, Ash's Party of Five. I think you guys rebranded to the Golden Feather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to thank you, Virtek and Chibi, Bree, for inviting me on to the podcast and just, you know, listening along and joining in the conversation. And you guys, Twitch chat, for being such a good conversationist.
Yeah.
Point of interest.
And always bringing up interesting questions and going along with us for the just the curiosities and the just random thoughts. I like it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show, sir.
Yeah.
Being a lively guest.
You're always welcome. Always welcome to come back.
As Foosh said, by all means, today was a great conversation, both in chat and in the voice here. So thank you guys for your contributions, because man, they got my gears spinning.
Oh yeah.
Super interesting stuff.
Tons of things to think about. But yeah, aside from that, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Makinoji.
Aw, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
For those of you curious, though, there is a little bit of a content creator program redesign, so they're not taking applications at the moment. But as soon as they open that up, I'll do our best to get us in there.
I already plan on bribing my way in. I'm taking them cookies every day for a week until they say yes.
Well, I hope you guys do get in, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, aside from that, you can find me here on YouTube. I have videos too, actually. I have 2 of them that are literally all I have to do is just export them and then upload them, and they're just sitting in my Premiere. So I'll probably do that this next week, just because I am on spring break this week, so I'll have a little bit more time, and also make a 3rd one that's actually gonna be new for me, because all these other ones are already just ready. But aside from that, I stream a little bit here and there. What were you saying, Virtek?
Saying they're already ready already.
Oh yeah. And Virtek, what about you?
Well, you'll find me most of the time here. But I'm also on the Twitter, and I'm trying to be more active there. I do a little bit every week, but you know, I'm not the most outgoing there, just because I'm not used to it. But if you interact with me, I'm guaranteed to reply. I'll tell you that much. Also doing the Instagram. I am actually wrapping up a lot of edits on some photos I took of Miss Chibi Bree doing the cosplay stuff. So some of them that she hasn't posted up on her Instagram, I'll be putting up. Some of them she has put up on her Instagram, I'm going to be putting up anyway, so I have them in my own catalog. So I will actually be putting content on my Instagram finally, after like a year and a half of having an account and only having my profile picture, and that's it.
As well as a year of sitting on these photos.
Shh. It's okay.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. You can find us here next Friday, 5 p.m. PST, and keep an eye out in our Discord and or Twitter as we get more information on what we'll be chatting about. And of course, you can guarantee that we're going to be doing the whole interview thing, so send us those questions over, and promise to give you a good 20-minute heads up next time in all of the forum areas and Discord areas for our podcast going live. We were testing out Zoom right before the podcast, so we were just putting on some finishing touches and making sure everything sounded and looked good. So yeah.
Yep. New call platform, had a lot of testing to do. Time disappeared.
Yeah, so thanks again for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Adios.
Bye.